Hi everyone, today's topic is reading and creating two-way frequency tables. You do not need to write down everything we'll cover in this video, but be sure to jot down important information and at least one example of each type of problem that we'll cover. Also remember that you can pause the video to jot down important notes, rewind to view information again, and fast forward if you think you got it. Be careful, make sure you don't fast forward so much that you miss out on something important. All right, so let's start with what two-way frequency tables are. They are tables that plot the frequencies, how often something happens, for two different categorical variables from a data set. So lots of important information there. First of all, frequency is how often something happens. So it's like they're collecting information, and each time it happens, they're adding a ticky mark to it and adding up how many times they're getting that information. And it's only two variables, that's why it's a two-way frequency table. And the variables are categorical. So we're going to talk more about what that means. But one category is going to be represented by rows that's going across. The other category is going to go up and down, represented by columns. Categorical data is results that can be grouped into fixed amount of categories. So for instance, if I was asking everybody what their favorite ice cream would be, and I only gave them three choices, vanilla, strawberry, or chocolate. That's categorical data that I'm getting because people have three categories to choose from. The results can be grouped in a fixed amount, three, and only three, amount of categories. I don't have an other category where people can write in their answer. So scatter plots show numerical data, and two-way frequency tables show categorical data. Both compare two different variables, but it's the type of data that's different between them. Make sure you have this copied down before we go on to some examples of scatter plots and frequency tables. All right, so this is an example of categorical data put into a two-way frequency table. So in this study, they asked students their ages and whether they ate breakfast that day or skipped breakfast. And for the ages, they put them into either two categories, 10 to 13-year-olds or 14 to 17-year-olds. They just didn't even ask people younger than 10 or older than 17. So this is categorical data. You either are 10 to 13 or 14 to 17. You either ate breakfast or you skipped breakfast. There's no in between there. So the ages are going across in rows, and the breakfast status is going up and down in columns. So that's an example for you in your notebook. And categorical data, like what we showed up there with the breakfast and the ages, age categories, can't be represented in a scatter plot because a scatter plot has numbers in it. That's going to be the numerical data. So side by side, you'll see the difference between categorical data and numerical data. The other piece of important information that you need to know for two-way frequency tables is that you also have totals. You have a bunch of totals. You have 5 totals on the sides and on the bottom. So here's an example to help you make sense of that. In this problem, they said that Joanna sent out a survey to the freshmen and sophomores, asking if they were planning on attending the homecoming dance. 66 freshmen responded to the survey, and 32 saying that they would be attending. Of the 84 sophomores that responded, 38 said that they would not attend. So this problem asks you to organize the data in a two-way table and answer the questions. So there's a bunch of different totals going on. 66 freshmen responded to the survey. So that means for the freshmen only, the total is 66. So going up and down, that's the total for the freshmen. 84 is a total for the sophomores. So going across, attending the dance, 78 people total attended the dance. 72 people total did not attend the dance. So it's like you're taking each of the different categories and you're calculating the totals. So to get the grand total, you would just add those up. So people are either attending the dance or not attending the dance. So the total of that, when you add that up, is 150 total people. People are either freshmen or sophomores in the study. So adding up 66 and 84 also gets you 150. You just have different addends to get to the 150. But adding up the grade levels and the dance status should both add up to 150. So it's like they're joining to get this grand total. Be sure to jot down any important information, and we're going to head over to some examples. All right, so the first type of problem that you can be asked on Khan Academy is how to read a two-way frequency table. These tables are already made for you, and you just have to answer a question. So let's look at this one. A university surveyed its students on their opinions of campus housing. The following two-way table displays data for the sample of 200 students who responded to the survey. They want to know how many students in this sample had a negative opinion of campus housing. Pause the video and try it on your own first. All right, so important information that I see here is that the sample has 200 students who responded to the survey. That's the total amount of students here. So that information is not on that table. I'm going to have to add that there. So meaning all the males and females added together should equal 200. All the positive opinion and negative opinions added together should, and the neutral opinions, those three numbers added together, should equal 200 as well. Okay, so how many students in this sample had a negative opinion of campus housing? Let's see, negative opinion would be all the guys who gave negative opinions plus all the girls who gave negative opinions. So that would be 36 plus 56, and that would be 92. Looks like we didn't need the 200 at the end, but we could have, so it's important to put that there. 92 total people had negative opinions. And again, we added up the girls and the guys who had negative opinions. Because this 40 is the guys who had positive, the 36 is the guys who had negative opinions, the 14 is the guys who had neutral opinions, 42 is the girls who had positive, 56 is the girls who had negative, and 12 is the girls who had neutral opinions. So it's like they're joining together. So how we got those two is just joining them together. And then we added them up to get 92. Okay. I'm going to try another one of those questions. This one says that teams in the National Football League in America are divided into two conferences, the AFC and the NFC. Some teams have animals as their mascots and others do not. The following two-way table displays this data. How many teams have an animal mascot? Pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, teams that have animal mascots. So any teams, doesn't matter if it's AFC or NFC. All teams that have animal mascots. Well, AFC has 7 and NFC has 8. Add them together, you'll get the total of teams that have animal mascots. That's 15. So that's reading two-way frequency tables. Be sure you read the question correctly and interpret that table correctly. Now, the next type of question they can ask you is how to create your own two-way frequency table. They have it set up with the categories already, and you just have to put in the correct numbers. This question says, a veterinarian asked each of her 18 patrons if they have a dog. She also asked each patron, so her customers, if they have a cat. The Venn diagram below shows the data she collected. So you have to complete the following two-way frequency table using this information down here, and don't forget the 18 patrons total. Pause the video and try it on your own first. Okay, so total is 18 patrons. So that means everybody that she asked together should equal to 18. Let's add these together. 5 plus 7 plus 6. And there's also a plus 0, but it's not going to do anything mathematically. 12 plus 6 is 18. Okay, so this is everybody. We didn't miss anybody. Let's make sense of this, though. 0 people looks like they have neither. Don't have a dog or a cat. So that's important information later on. And there's 18 total people. Let's see, 7 people have a dog and a cat because that's where the Venn diagram go together. So that's going to be a 7 here. They have a dog and a cat. This next one here is does not have a dog but has a cat. Does not have a dog but has a cat. Does not have a dog but has a cat would be this one, 6, because it doesn't overlap with the dogs. Does not have a cat but has a dog. Does not have a cat but has a dog would be 5. And this one is doesn't have a cat and doesn't have a dog. That's 0. Nobody has neither. That's this one outside. Hopefully you got that one correct. And we're going to do one last one. Lena knows the following information about her box of 18 candies. 10 candies contain both chocolate and caramel. 3 candies contain neither chocolate nor caramel. 12 candies in total contain chocolate. So pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, there's 18 total candies, so we're going to put that on the side. All our numbers have to add up to 18 later. Let's see, 10 candies contain both chocolate and caramel. Contain chocolate and contains caramel. That's 10. Okay, done with that one. 3 candies contain neither. Does not contain caramel or chocolate. That's 3. And then 12 candies in total contain chocolate. 12 total for chocolate. So that's this total here. 10 for containing caramel and chocolate. And this one has to be 2 that doesn't contain caramel but does contain chocolate. So that in total there's 12 that contain chocolate. Okay? And then we have one missing here. This is a little tricky. All right? Again, we used this as a total right here to figure out what was missing by subtracting. So think to yourself what you could do to figure out this number here. You should know that these two totals have to add up to 18. There's 12 that contain chocolate. We don't know how many don't contain chocolate. However, this number is the only other option. Either the candy contains chocolate or doesn't contain chocolate. So it's got to be 6 that doesn't contain chocolate, so that in total there are 18 total candies. Some that contain chocolate, some don't. So if this total is 6, then this has to be 3, so that 3 plus 3 equals this 6. Okay, and then just to double check, 2 plus 3 is 5, 10 plus 3 is 13, 13 plus 5 should also get you to that 18. So again, this together has to equal to 18, and this together has to equal to 18. So by knowing that, you can figure out your missing amount there. All right, so it's kind of like a puzzle and like a Venn diagram, but on a table. Let me know if you have any questions as you work on these problems, and I'll see you in class.